Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu anhu took care of the Islamic Khilafat in a beautiful manner for 10 years, 6 months and 15 days. And he used to go for Hajj every year. After his last Hajj in the year 23, Sa'id ibn Musayyib says that Sayyiduna Umar radiallahu anhu was lying down, and he, while returning on his return journey, and he made a dua. Allahumma qad kabirat sinni wa da'ufat quwwati wa intasharat ra'iyyati faqbidni ilayk ghayra mudayyi'in wa la mufarritin. Allah, oh Allah, my life, I have grown old, my strength has weakened, and my ra'iyyat has spread out. So take me to you in such a state that I am not abandoning any of your commands, and I am not doing any kotahi, and no deficiencies on my part with regards to your instructions. So I want to die at my peak, while everything is under my control. I don't want my power to go down and then I start making mistakes and wrong things. Take me to you. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu made this dua, and he saw a dream one night on his return, that one rooster, murgh, jumped on him and pricked in his belly 3 times. So Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, next day Sahabas were sitting around him, and he related this dream, that I saw this dream and I think my death is near, and this murgh that I saw, this rooster which was hitting me, it looks like an Ajmi slave, a non-Arab slave who is going to attack me. It happened. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu arrived at Madinah Munawwara. Now Umar got the indications. See, even in Makkah Mukarramah, there were some whisperings going on as to who should be Khalifa after Umar. So Umar radiallahu anhu intended to stand in Makkah Mukarramah in Haram Sharif and give a speech that people should not gossip with regards to this. He made mashwara, but Abdurrahman ibn Auf said, Ameerul Momineen, don't do that. Because in Hajj, there are people of different minds and different thinkings from different backgrounds. They won't understand what you're trying to say. So when you get back to Madinah Munawwara, the people of Medina will understand your speech more, what you're trying to say. So give that speech in Medina, not over here. So Umar said, okay. When he came back, he said that some people talk of this type, they shouldn't do that. And he gave some instruction that they say, I don't want to see these type of things happening. After a few days, it so happens, after arriving at Madinah Munawwara, that there was this slave of Mughira ibn Shu'bah radiallahu anhu, by the name of Abu Lu'lu'a al-Majusi. And Mughira ibn Shu'bah had written to Umar that Ameerul Momineen, this slave of mine, he's from Iran, from Persia, he's a Persian, and he's a very skilled craftsman. And he can do lots of works. He can do metal work, he can do woodwork, he's a carpenter, he's a joiner, and he's also a blacksmith, and he can make many things, so he's very skilled. If you want, I can send him to Madinah Munawwara, he will be beneficial for the people of Madinah Munawwara. But Umar radiallahu anhu did not like these type of Ajmi, non-Arab slaves in Madinah Munawwara. I said no, Madinah should be kept free of these types of people. However, since Mughira insisted, so he sent him and he came over here. One day, this Abu Lu'lu'a al-Majusi approached Umar and he said, Ameerul Momineen, my master Mughira ibn Shu'bah, he has fixed a levy upon me of 100 dirhams per month or whatever, and it's very hard for me. So can you tell him to reduce this, which I have to pay? So Umar said, what are your skills? What do you do? And he said, I do this and this and this. So Umar said, well, your 100 dirhams per month is not too much. You can pay that. So Umar did not, uphold his complaint. He rejected it. He said, you are able to do it. So he said, okay. But he had a grudge in his heart with Umar radiallahu anhu. So one day Umar was sitting with Ali and others, and he happened to pass by the next day or someone, and Umar called him, Abu Lu'lu'a, come here. You were mentioning that you can do this and this. Can you make a grinder, a chakki, which can run with the wind? And people don't have to put so much strength to run around to grind. And he said, yes, I can make it. And I will make such a grinder that the whole world will talk about it. And Umar was shocked. He said to Ali, oh Ali, do you know what he's just said? And Ali said, yes, Ameer al-Momineen. He has threatened you. And Umar said, I also think that aw'adani, that he has threatened me. Well, inshallah, yakfeen Allah. Whatever Allah wills will happen. Days passed by, and Abu Lu'lu'a Majusi has made his plan to kill Umar. He is intent on murdering him. So, according to his plan, he dips a dagger in poison for a few days, 2-3 days, and then he brings that dagger and hides in Masjid Nabawi, a Sharif, behind the mimbar. Now there were no locks or anything, so he comes, and it is the 27th of Zulhijjah in the year 23. And he is hiding. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu comes for Fajr Salah, and Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu's habit was to perform Fajr Salah in darkness. And he would read lengthy surahs and finish in light. Sometimes he would read Surah Yusuf as well. So long surah in Salatul Fajr. So Umar radiallahu anhu started Salah, and there were a few people in the first, second, third safs, and so many Sahabas. Others were still getting ready, coming to the masjid. Now suddenly, as soon as he started, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the Abu Lu'lu'a Majusi, he comes out from behind and he pokes Umar radiallahu anhu, stabs him in the stomach. And one of the stabs were beneath his navel. And that was the, striking blow and fatal. So Umar radiallahu anhu, tried to grab hold of him, but he, sneaked, and Umar fell. And the Sahaba who were in the first saf, they also tried to get hold of him, but he stabbed 12 Sahabas with that, dagger. And 6 of them died as a result. One Sahabi, Hittan, saw that he's going to kill everyone. And so he had a sheet, because of the cold or whatever, so he threw that sheet over him and grabbed him. And when that Abu Lu'lu'a saw that he's going to get caught now, so he stabbed himself and committed suicide. Over here, Umar radiallahu anhu somehow got hold of the hand of Abdurrahman ibn Auf, and he dragged him forward. Abdurrahman came and he continued with the namaz. Allahu Akbar, Sahaba so punctual of namaz, salah, that first they finish the salah. Abdurrahman ibn Auf prayed small surah wal asri and inna atayna and assalamu alaikum. Those who were behind, they didn't know what's going on. They just noticed that the voice of Umar has died down and they can't hear his qiraat. But over here all this happened. Abdurrahman came and he said he finished the namaz, and then people carried Umar radiallahu anhu to his house. And Umar radiallahu anhu, first, as soon as light spread, the news got around, and Umar radiallahu anhu asked Abdullah that go and check who killed me, who stabbed me. And it was said that it was Abu Lu'lu'a, the slave of Mughira ibn Shu'bah. And he said, oh, chalo, alhamdulillah, कि a Muslim has not killed me with whom I would have any confrontation on the day of Qiyamah. I won't have to answer before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Umar radiallahu anhu had been making this dua of Allahumma rzuqni shahadatan fi sabilik waj'al mawti fi baladi rasulik. Give me shahadat and in Madinah Munawwara. This was amazing, but Allah wants to give, He gives. So he got this shahadat. So Umar radiallahu anhu is brought over here, and the news spreads out like a wildfire. Everybody starts rushing. And in the city of Medina, this is the saddest day after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everybody is crying. Oh no, Umar's been stabbed. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? And Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu calls on for a tabib, a doctor. A doctor is brought and he gives some nabiz. Nabiz is drink made by dates. That Umair drink this. And he drinks it, but something comes out of his stomach. But they don't understand, is this blood or is it the nabiz? So another tabib is called, and he calls for milk, and he drinks the milk, and the milk goes out of the intestines, stomach. And Umar radiallahu anhu says, and the Tabib says, Amir Momineen, make your wasiyat and die, because you're not going to live. And in those days there was no surgery, and so Amir Momineen said, I had thought that as well, that my time has come. Then people are coming. Hafsa, Momineen comes, and the people make way for her, and she comes close to Amir Momineen. She starts crying, and he consoles her, and he said, Biti, don't cry. Everybody has to go. Why are you crying over me? Pray for me. He consoles her. Then Hafsa goes by, and then people start coming, and consoling Umar radiallahu anhu. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu says that I was standing, and someone from behind me was looking at Umar radiallahu anhu. And Umar had sent his son Abdullah to Aisha radiallahu anha, that ask her that when I die, can I be buried with my two friends, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr Siddiq? No. And she was crying when Abdullah went, and she said, yes, I will give preference to Umar over myself. I will allow him to be buried here. And even though I was thinking of keeping this place for myself, but I will be buried with my friends in Baqi, but Umar can be buried over here. When Abdullah comes with the news, and he says that Alhamdulillah, she has permitted, and Umar says Alhamdulillah, there was nothing more worrying in my mind than this. ما كان شيء أهم عندي من ذلك المضجع يا موضع, that I wanted to be joined with Abu Bakr and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now when this news came, Ali was behind Abdullah ibn Abbas, and he said, I knew that Umar would sleep over there with the two, because many times I heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, خرجت أنا وأبو بكر وعمر, دخلت أنا وأبو بكر وعمر, ذهبت أنا وأبو بكر وعمر. I, Abu Bakr and Umar went. I, Abu Bakr and Umar came out. I, Abu Bakr and Umar did this. So always he was with them. Sahabas used to say, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would come to the masjid for salah, then nobody would look up or speak to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam except Abu Bakr and Umar. They would both smile at Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah would smile at them, and then they would both go forward. Rasulullah would go on the musalla, and they would both be behind him. So on many occasions Rasulullah would say, I and Abu Bakr and Umar did this. So Ali said, from there on I got the indication that you will sleep with them, and you will rest with them, and you will lie with them in the qabr. So Umar radiallahu anhu's place was reserved over there. I mentioned the dream of Aisha radiallahu anha, when she saw 3 moons coming down. And when Rasulullah was buried over there, Abu Bakr said, this is your first moon. And the second was Abu Bakr, and the third was Umar radiallahu anhu. So Umar is injured, and people are coming over there. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, who is a grown up now, and he consoles, gives some tasalli to Umar radiallahu anhu, and says, Amir al-Momineen, you should be happy. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was well pleased with you. You believed in him, you supported him. When he passed away, he was happy with you. Then you supported Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He also died as happy with you. He appointed you as his successor and Khalifa. And now you took care of the Khilafat for 10 years, and you worked so hard, and now you are going while the whole public is happy and pleased with you, and they are all crying over your separation. So you should be happy on that. And Umar radiallahu anhu says, bas, don't praise me, I don't want to hear any praises at this time. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lets me off without giving me any reward and without holding me to account, that would be enough for me. This was fear of Umar radiallahu anhu. He thought that all these nekis and piety which I have done is nothing if Allah is displeased with me. If Allah lets me off and He allows me, He doesn't reward me, He doesn't hold me to account, this is enough for me. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu is there, and some people come and go to visit him. He is lying on the bed, and he sees this young man come and go, and his garment is being dragged below the ankles. And in that state, in that pain, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu looks at him, and he said, Ya ibn akhi, irfa' thawbak, فَإِنَّهُ أَنْقَى لِثَوْبِكَ وَأَتْقَى لِرَبِّكَ. Dear son, raise your garment. it will keep your cloth clean, and it will generate in you fear of your Lord Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will get taqwa by keeping your garment above your ankles and not lowering down below. So even in that state, Umar radiallahu anhu is worried about Amr bil Maruf and Nahi anil Munkar. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu is there, he gives some instructions, and those are beautiful instructions. I will read it from here. बहुत अच्छा इसमें इंग्लिश में इसको जमा किया है. अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद. नहीं चला गया कहीं. चल नहीं यार. Umar is reported to have left the following statement: be kind and generous to the Muhajirin and Ansar. Those out of them who are good, be good to them. Those who are bad, overlook their lapses. Be good to the people of the conquered lands. They are the outer line of our defense. They are the target of the anger and distress of our enemies. They contribute to our revenues. They should be taxed only their surplus wealth. Be gracious to the Bedouins, as they are the backbone of the Arab nation. I instruct you to be good to the Zimmis, for they are your responsibility. Do not tax them beyond their capacity. Ensure that they pay the jizya without undue inconvenience. Fear Allah, and in all that you do, keep His pleasure in view. In the matter of people, fear Allah, and in the matter of Allah, do not be afraid of people. With regards to the people, I enjoin you to administer justice with an even hand. See that all the legitimate requirements of people are. Ali can speak to him. So they came to Ali, Ali, can you speak to him? Ali said, no, I'm not going to speak to him, because I know what his answer is. He's not going to accept. So they said, okay, we'll talk to Aisha and Hafsa, Momineen. He will listen to them. So they went and they told Hafsa and Aisha. And Aisha and Hafsa said, okay, we'll speak to him. So they came to Amir al-Momineen, and they, after careful thinking and they said, Amir al-Momineen, this is a request. Why don't you wear some nice clothes so people can see, they can say that, oh, this is a very nice person. And Umar radiallahu anhu said, okay, I have heard what you say, but how did the Prophet ﷺ live? How did Abu Bakr live? Do you not know his life? Do you not know his house? Do you not know how he used to eat and drink? And if I turn away an inch from their lifestyle, then I fear that I won't be able to join. I want to stay straight on that track so I can be with them in the day of Qiyamah. I don't want to divert from there. And he mentioned the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in such a manner, he was crying and he made them both cry as well. So this was Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, or समझिए कि he had his abstinence, renouncement, denouncing this world was at its peak. He never took the luxuries of this dunya with him. In fact, Abu Musa al-Ash'ari radiallahu anhu ने एक रोज बैतुल माल में झाड़ू दी. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari swept the Baytul Mal, and he found 1 dirham from there. So he gave it to one child of Umar radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu anhu saw that dirham in the child's hand and asked him, where did you get it from? And he said, Abu Musa gave me. So Umar was furious. He called upon Abu Musa and he said to Abu Musa, hey Abu Musa, हमारे घर से ज़्यादा कोई घर तुमको जलील मालूम नहीं हुआ पूरे शहर में? Did you not find any other house more degraded than my house?